Welcome to the Alchemy, Astrology, and Astro Health podcast. I'm Eir Atla, medical astrologist, astroherbalist, and green witch. I was diagnosed with endometriosis at 19, and I was told I would never have children. I healed my body through the power of herbs, alternative health practitioners, energy healing, and more. At 28, I had the baby they said I would never have, without any interventions. I refused to believe that my body was not able to heal itself. Along this journey, I stumbled across medical astrology, and it resonated with me so much. I started down the path to learning this unique system that had been used for thousands of years in the medical community. I now help other women heal their bodies using their cosmic blueprint, the unique blueprint that every person has embedded in their DNA from the stars. This system helps me see what's going on in your body on a cosmic level and exactly how to help you give your body what it needs to heal itself. We are all uniquely and amazingly designed, and when we learn to work with our design, love ourselves for how we are designed to function, and integrate the cosmos into our lives, I truly believe that we can see true and lasting health brought into our lives. If you are ready to change your life, heal your body, and learn to deeply love who you are, this podcast is for you. Come join me as I discuss medical astrology, astronutrition, astroherbalism, health, wellness, spirituality, transformation, and so much more. I'm so excited you are joining me. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Alchemy, Astrology, and Astro Health. I am here with Adriana Keefe, who you've heard from before, and we have a new woman joining us, Viola Murrone, and they are coming to join us because they are hosting a retreat together, and I'm super excited to hear about it and talk more about it and let you all know. So without further ado, welcome, ladies.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, I am so excited. Viola and I have not actually had too much of a chance to talk, so I'm excited to learn more about what it is that you do. We all know what Adriana does, so let's start with Viola. Tell us what you do, who you are, all the good stuff.
Okay, I'll try to, like with the healers, there's a lot of healing and a lot of wound and a lot of stories, so we always try to make it as short and relevant as possible. But the long story short is that after many years of feeling sick physically, I've had gastritis, I've had like chronic fatigue and many problems. Working in corporate, I was working with a high luxury international brand for many years. I started doing Reiki, let's say for the second time, because the first time I've done Reiki, I was 9 years old. So let's say I come from a family of modern witches that initiated me. How do you say in English? I'm sorry.
Initiated you?
Initiated me. Yes. Probably the first thing I have to say is that I'm Italian and I mispronounce many words. Bear with me.
That's fine. I do the same to Italian, so.
And one big lesson that I've learned is that once you get far from spirituality, once you forget where you come from, once you detach from your spirit, your soul, your inner self, and everything goes really hard. Everything, like your body and your mind, feels sick. So going back to Reiki in 2015 has been an amazing way to find myself again. At the time, I was really sick, and I went to the hospital several times. And after 3 months, I was fine. After 3 months of Reiki, my chronic everything was gone. It wasn't that chronic anymore. And I had this desire. I was living in Brazil at the time. And I had this desire to share this with other people. But, we're spiritual beings in human bodies. And the job I was doing, I had a really good salary. And I loved my job. It's not like I couldn't wait to leave the job. And again, life catches up with you when you don't do what you're meant to do. And I've had a miscarriage. I lost my grandfather. I lost my father. Everything in a few months' time. And they moved my husband from Brazil to New York. And I was like, okay, this is a very, very big wake-up call. So when I moved to New York, still I was resisting my call on really, giving in with Reiki and crystals. I'm a Virgo. I'm very grounded. I like to kind of prove everything. So I've done a course in health coaching because I thought health coaching, if you ask me sometimes why this message came to you while you're doing Reiki, it's hard to explain. But if you ask me what are the healthy fats to consume, it's much easier. It's much more down to earth. So I thought that's more Virgo. I'm gonna do that. But I was offering coaching, and people were asking Reiki, and I was like, wait, I'm not offering Reiki. How come people are asking me Reiki? So I ended up unifying, fusing the both of them. What I do now, I do usually do programs of Reiki and coaching together, because I believe the coaching brings, of course, the Virgo in me and, helps me ground people. But I think without the Reiki, you get only half of the benefits. So the Reiki and the crystals, they really bring these complete healing, this holistic healing, like we say nowadays, so that you can touch all the parts of your body and spirit. So this is the shortest I can make it. I hope it makes sense.
It does, yes. I know it's so hard to say who we are without having to give massive amounts of backstory, because so many of us, you're right, come from some backstory that led us to what we do today. So I am very interested in learning more about what it is that you do, because that sounds so, I don't know, just such a great modality to combine the crystals and the Reiki. So you have all that different energy, plus then you cement it with that nice earth energy of let's seal the deal with some coaching. It's perfect. It is definitely a Virgo vibe, that's for sure.
I always say, we're spiritual being, but if we came to a human body, is that because we've got something to do in this world. So if we only, when you're an astrologer, I'm Virgo, my rising is Sagittarius, and my moon is in Cancer. So I think it's a good combination, but at the same time, I can be really all over the place.
Yeah, you have a lot of mutable energy in those top three, so it definitely, can flow and mute. I don't want to say mutate, but that's not the word I'm looking for. Transform and go back and forth and all around. And so, yeah, it's the Virgo helps though, because it does keep you a bit more grounded with all that watery fire energy that wants to have you go all over the place. So you got a good combination there.
Yeah, if I can summarize it, I would say that the coaching is my Virgo self, the Reiki and crystal is my moon in Cancer, and then the fun we have during the session, because we always laugh a lot, is my rising in Sagittarius. I'd say this is what I do, and because I mainly work, my idea is actually to help. I always say my goal is to light up the world one woman at a time. I always work with women, and most of these women I work with, we have a lot of things in common, high corporate jobs or kids or things like this. So we know what we're talking about. And sometimes you don't have to say anything. You just have to say, I went out with the kids. And you don't have to say what happened exactly. We already know it was a shit show. So, you just have a little laugh and you're like, okay, what can we do to make it better?
Yeah, definitely. So we'll let Adriana go ahead and reintroduce yourself, just in case we have anybody new listening who hasn't heard your episode yet, and tell us all about you and all the good stuff.
For sure. I mean, I'll leave my whole story for the other episode, but if you're new to me, hi, I'm Adriana. I'm a human design expert and speaker and mom of 3 and wife. And I'm a Taurus sun, Scorpio moon, Leo rising. I just forgot for a second. I don't know how that happened. Mom brain, probably. But I use human design in a way that, as far as I know, no one else does. And it is from a place of healing trauma, because that's how human design healed me. So a lot of the work that I do incorporates nervous system regulation, but also coming home to a sense of spirituality and opening yourself up to whatever it is you connect with, God, universe, source, it doesn't matter. But we need to have some strong sense of belief in something bigger than us in order for us to fully lean into what it is that our gifts are here, not just the system itself, because human design takes a lot of trust, but really just living in an energetic alignment in some way, shape, or form, and trusting that things can be easier for you. So a lot of my work is deep. It is not just the chart readings. Even my chart readings, I'm an intuitive, and we always pull a card, and I go at it from not just an educational standpoint, but an embodied standpoint, very trauma-informed, emotional kind of view on things. So naturally, the work that I do in human design has led me into wanting to go deeper and deeper and create more spaces for more healing, not just superficial education, but true embodied integration.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes. Yeah, Adriana does amazing work. She has a membership I've been involved in, which was lovely, and she works that way and one-on-one and a bunch of other stuff too. So highly recommend looking up both of these ladies at the end of the podcast and looking more deeply into their services and seeing if working together is for you. So now we will get on to the really good stuff that we're here for, which is these two lovely ladies are hosting a retreat in Florida, and it's coming up at the end of this year, right? October, November time?
November. Yep. Second weekend in November.
Right around my birthday. Woot woot. So they have been promoting it and talking about it, and it sounds wonderful. So I wanted them to come today and give you all the details too. So whichever one of you wants to start with that, you can jump on in and just start telling us why you're doing it and what it's about.
I'll let V start. Well, V, you're the one who kind of like, you've been asking me to do this forever, and I finally said yes. So V, you go ahead. You initiated this whole thing.
Okay, there we go. Like, first of all, I do things as Adriana then can talk better about human design and everything, which you will find out a lot about in the retreat. I work with my solar plexus. So I do everything with passion, with love. So what I wanted to do was a retreat with someone that I instinctively love and trust. So Adriana for me was like just the perfect fit. On top of it, and I've done, you've done reading for me and everything, so I really admire you professionally as well. So to me, it was like, the cherry on the cake. You got this person that you really like professionally. You can spend a really nice time together. She's got a great vibe. I was like, I want to do something together. And retreats are something that to me is what people need a lot at the moment. We get so sucked into the daily pace. We get so packed into expectation. I was talking a few days ago. I'm here in New York. I used to live here. So, some old friends, she just had a baby for the first time. And she's like, I can't handle all the judgment and all the opinion and all the things. So we live in a place and time that messes up our brain. And I don't know if I can say it, but it's mind fucking. If you cannot say it, you cut it. So the idea was like to create a few days where a small amount of women, because I also believe in tailor-made. Like, we are going to give all the attention to the few people that are coming. A few women can come and really disconnect, hamper themselves, connect with nature, because to me, the real original source of inspiration for our heart and our soul is nature. Like I love New York, but I wouldn't do a retreat in Manhattan, if you know what I mean. Like, it has to be like in the middle of, trees and with water next to you and everything. And also what we wanted to do is to work a little bit on women on self-acceptance. We'll do a little bit of shadow work, but I always say when we talk with Adriana, like, shadow work, when we say it sounds like, oh my God, we're going to hell and back. No, it's basically self-acceptance. Then we can talk a little bit more. Adriana can go deeper. Otherwise, I'm the only one who talks. But also, we wanted to give tools for when you go back. Because as far as we do need, and I do believe that everybody needs to take a break, sometimes the break is so good that when you go back, it's kind of, you're more depressed than before. So we want to give people tools that when they go back, not only they will have a like-minded community that they can contact anytime, whenever they want, because we will still be in contact. I've done this for my past retreats. I'll keep on doing it. We also want to have tools that you can, I don't know, like silly examples now, because I don't want to give all the juices away, but like, a breathing technique or a mantra, whatever, something that you're like, okay, I'm about to lose my mind now. How do I create some peace amidst the chaos? I've got it. I'm going to do it. This is what I've learned. This is a little bit the initial idea, because I told you I want to light up the world one woman at a time. So a retreat is a good way also to reach women, give them what they need, and allow them to go back lighter and more radiant.
Adriana, please. Do I go now? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I'm sitting here nodding. I'm like, yes, all of that. Yes. I obviously that integration piece is huge for us. We're offering an entire month of follow-up guidance and coaching, if you want to call it coaching, to every attendee, because the last thing that we want is for them to go back to their day-to-day lives and feel worse, which is actually, if you've ever been to a retreat, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's an extremely common emotion to go through. For me, I second everything that V said. And honestly, as a busy mom of 3, I think that we just need this time and space to disconnect in general, just to be able to hear our clarity inside us. Like, I'll be sitting here meditating, but I can still hear my kids running downstairs. And then I'm thinking about the dishes that have to be done. And then, oh God, what time do I have to get her off the bus? And this is 3 days of literally not having to worry about taking care of anyone. We are there to take care of you. Literally, we'll have food brought to you. Like, this is such a sacred space for, I think of it as my postpartum doula, where she would come and she would take care of me. She would bathe me. Like, it was hard for me to receive that. I was like, what do you mean you'll start my bath? She'd be like, sit down, let me do this. And I just want to tell every woman who is interested in this type of retreat, sit down, let us do this for you. That's what it feels like for me. Let us nurture you. Let us peel back the layers in a really safe space and with a bunch of other like-minded women, because this personal spiritual development journey can get very lonely because you outgrow your circles. It is extremely common. We've probably all here on this call have gone through this more than once at our pace. And having a safe space to learn about yourself, like diving into your human design. Who are you actually? And you're going to learn my entire healing modality, the entire system I've put together that I do with my clients to heal from things like abuse or trauma, any sort of conditioning that was placed on you. We're doing it throughout those days, and we're giving you the rituals and systems to set up for when you go back home so you can continue that integration into your everyday life. But like V mentioned, I think having that community support, you're going to meet the best friends there. Like, there has never been a retreat that I've gone to, whether it's business or personal, where I didn't meet someone that I'm still connected to. I think that's a really powerful piece, having feminine community that's safe to just lean on and call and be like, I'm feeling really low today, or this trigger happened. How can I move through this? And people who see you for who you are, like, they saw your human design. We're all doing this stuff together. So I'm just really excited to take care of other women in the ways that I have been so honored to let people take care of me in my life.
Yes, this sounds amazing. And I agree. It's so needed. When you have kids, especially as a woman, you feel, or you do, like, neglect yourself, whether you mean to or not, especially when the kids are little. They need you so much when they're little that you give, and you forget to fill your own cup and fill your own reserves. And then we deplete ourselves physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And we're so caught up in taking care of our kids a lot of times that we even forget to, like, take care of, like, our friendships. We lose friendships, whether we mean to or not, because we forget to meet up with our our friends. We're like, well, you find excuses. I can't find a babysitter, or, whatever it is. We don't have the money for it right now. And unless you have a spouse who's, like, really good at pushing you to go do that stuff, you get left behind. And it's really hard, like you said, to be in your house sometimes with your kids, especially when they're little, and like trying to meditate when you're right, you can hear them. They're breaking things and they're screaming and they're fighting. And even if your spouse or partner is watching them, it doesn't matter. Your brain is still tuned into your kids. And it's impossible to get peace sometimes. And so this retreat sounds amazing for women who have kids, and also women who don't, but are just stressed out from the fact that like we're probably having to work ourselves into an early grave anymore with the way some of this, economy and stuff is going, that you feel obligated to be at work at time. And if you're single and you don't have a partner, even more so. And so that stress does not help anything. It really creates a lot of imbalances in the body and leads to a lot of health issues. And so it's a good thing to be able to go somewhere and be completely stress-free. I will say we used to go to Disney all the time when our kids were little. For all of our vacations, we went to Disney. And the reason we chose that was because we could get transportation. It was 100% free. We could stay on their thing, and I could go over. We got a meal plan, so all of our meals were covered. I did not have to think of a single thing once I arrived at Disney, outside of following, okay, on this day we're going here and on that day we're doing this. But other than that, I got an actual like fucking break and I could enjoy my vacation. Yes, I could actually enjoy my vacation with my family because I wasn't like super stressed about making sure we had, oh, let's eat breakfast today. And oh, what are we doing for lunch? And where are we? It was already planned out. I pre-planned all of it, and all we had to do was just arrive and exist, and it was fabulous. We don't go anymore. The kids are older, and so they just aren't as interested when they were little, but we pick other places where I can do similar things, right? And so it's like nice to be able to get on a vacation mode, but someone else is taking care of all the things for you. Like that sounds amazing to me right now, because we've had a pretty stressful summer. So I'm like, oh God, that sounds like great, just to be able to like relax and not have to worry about anything. And then the integration part afterwards, there's so many times I've gone to like similar things, and it's like you leave and you're right, there's like an energy dive and you get kind of depressed, and there's no connection or follow-up afterwards with the leader or the organizer or anything a lot of times. Or even a lot of times if you don't get people's contact information, you never see or hear those people again, and it can be hard to come back from that back to everyday life and then not have any of those like tendrils of connection left. So I really like that you guys are doing that, because it feels so much, I don't know, it feels better in my spirit just listening. I go, oh good, I'm not just like being left out to hang out to dry, when I leave.
Yeah. It's the feeling that I used to have when I would go to retreat. Then I'll come back and I'll be like, I don't know, there was like some sort of emptiness, that it felt more empty than before, even though I would do a reset cleanse or detoxes, however you want to call them. Then when you finish, you start eating the food you used to eat before, and it makes you way more sick. Yep. You have to ease back into things. Also, if you do the detox, maybe, having a kilo of chocolate the day after is not the reason why you started, but that's another story. So the idea is this, like, at least you can ease back in. And it's not really ease back in. It's not like we're going to be there for a week. I've done retreat in the past. We're still talking now. It's not a daily thing. But I always joke, when Mercury enters retrograde, the messages started to flow. I'm like, oh my God, this is happening, that is happening. And the way it starts, it ends. It's really funny. It feels so natural because, like Adriana said, you make deep friendships in moments like this. But then if you don't carry on, I feel like you might feel emptier and more lost.
I'm so curious, Eir, what you make of us doing this in Scorpio season.
I think it's perfect for Scorpio season.
I love Scorpio season.
Yes, me too, obviously, because I'm a Scorpio, but my husband is also a Scorpio, so like it's our time, right? So we love it. But Scorpio is, all about like transformation through some kind of a death. And that doesn't obviously always mean spiritual death. I mean, physical death, because if it did, none of us would be here anymore, right? We would just all die and that'd be the end of it. So this is a good time to enact transformations in your life. It's also Scorpio's really involved with like the occult and spirituality and that kind of stuff. So this is a perfect time to go and get some spiritual changes happening, transformations, bringing more spirituality into your life if it's something maybe you feel like you're missing and haven't had enough of, or you used to have it and you've kind of lost it because life and kids and whatever else has gotten in the way. So I think it's really a perfect time for that. On top of that, the best thing is that right after Scorpio season comes Sagittarius season. And Sagittarius is not only the wanderer and like traveler of the zodiac, but they're also the philosopher. They like to learn things and then put them into action and embody them and then teach them to other people. So it's like perfect where you have it timed, where they come to the retreat and then they get a whole month of aftercare moving into Sagittarius season, which gives you that ability as the person who's left the retreat to really embody and take that information and transform your life from what you've learned. So it really kind of sets the transformation in place, if that makes sense. So it's really just like perfect timing. But you know me, I love Scorpio season. I launched my new business name in Scorpio season. I launched my new website in Scorpio season. I launched new programs in Scorpio season. People are like, oh my God, why would you do that? I'm like, because it works for me. Everybody loves the fact that, you know, I'm doing all this stuff and here's stuff for transformation in Scorpio season, you know? So I think it's perfect. I, you know, maybe a little biased in my belief in that, but
and just think about the energy that you bring into your holiday season. You know, if you celebrate Christmas or even if it's just New Year, especially if you have kids, like think about that renewed energy. Because Christmas with young kids, you know, there's like a bittersweetness to it the older you get. And it's like, I want to love it. And then we kind of get lost. And so now that you're talking about that, like moving into Sag season, I'm just like, oh my God, we're just going to have this intensely beautiful, amplified, refreshed energy going into the holidays. Like that's even more exciting.
Yes, I didn't think of it, not for a second. And now that you were saying Scorpio seasons for these and Saturday, and I was like, oh, it's so perfect. It feels like we almost did it on purpose. And I love what you said about Scorpio. I don't know if it's because I'm born on the 13th or because I'm a Virgo, but Scorpio is one of my favorite signs. I really get on very, very well with Scorpio people because they really show in your face what they think. And it's one of my favorite thing on earth. But also like this idea of kind of death and rebirth. What we want to do actually, like if you look in depth of what Adriana and I were saying, it's basically to learn who you really are. You have to unbecome a little bit what they made you be, like society told you, your parents told you, the culture you grew up in, your teacher, blah, blah, blah. Everybody told you you should be, even when we're talking about moms, you're a mom, you're a mom, you're a mom. And then sometimes when finally someone realizes that you're not only a mom, what are you? You're a mom and a wife and a daughter. I was like, no, wait. Give me some space. Give some space to myself. So that would be like an amazing kind of rebirth.
What she said.
Yes. Viola wrapped that all up for us. Yeah. No, I agree. It's the perfect timing. And I know sometimes it feels like, well, we didn't plan it that way, but the universe kind of pushed you in that direction. And it so is the right timing, even if you didn't like purposely set out to like pick that specific, you know.
Oh, it
date.
gets even weirder with that date too. V, did you see what I tagged you on Instagram yesterday? Oh my God.
I was waiting for a second to tell you, Adriana, please tell us again what you just said.
So speaking of that timing that you can't, I did not plan this with the transits, the human design transits at all. But I just decided yesterday to look at the transits. Of course, in human design, my Pluto is in gate 1. Gate 1 is literally the self-expression, the creative, like the finding our own way, finding our own path, teaching others how to be empowered in their own transformation. So that's literally what I'm obsessed with. That's why I'm constantly obsessed with transformation. And guess where the sun moves direct into gate 1? November 6th, the day I arrive in Florida, and it is there for the entire, it is one of the biggest energies in my chart, and it is on for that 6 days that I'll be there. You can't make this up.
That's fantastic. I love this.
Yes, it is perfect. And this is where it just goes to show that even though you didn't specifically set out for that, the universe knew that that was the right timing and had you pick those dates for that reason.
Yep.
And so it was the time that you needed to be there. And that's really so like amazing how it all just works out how it should,
Always. It gave me an extra layer of this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing at that moment in time. Like that validation.
Yeah. 100%. So let's hear the actual details. Where is it going to be held? What are the exact dates? And how much is it going to cost for someone to come and join you two?
Do you want me to go?
I love that we always say the same thing. We have to stop, Adriana. Go, Adriana.
Okay, so it is in Sebastian, Florida at this incredible retreat center called Chosen with a Z, Zen, get it? That's so cute, I know. And of course, we put it out into the universe that we were looking for the right space, and V recently moved to Miami, and she was looking locally somewhere down there since it'll be colder seasons up here in the north, and they just happened to be having a little family retreat that weekend that she found them. So she took her kids and her husband and they all went to experience this retreat, and she just fell in love with the space. I mean, I can't speak to it as much as she does because she lived it, but it is like so holistic. It's farm to table food. It is like sustainable resources, sustainable farming. It is gorgeous. Like they have all these tents and there's the glamping and all these other whatever. We're actually staying in one of the big main cabins there all together because I felt that was a lot more supportive for everyone. So it is November 7th through the 10th at Chosen Retreat Center. If you wanted to see more information on it, we literally just got the URL, thebesteffingretreat.com, because we just, we are that way. Effing as in EFFING. So you can find it all there. For the room rates, it does differ for which kind of room you end up wanting to book. So your best bet would be to go to the website and check out the room rates. If you are booking like now around the time this airs, it's just like the 50% deposit that's due. Of course, as the time gets closer, then things would have to shift with that. But for now, it is just the deposit that's due. Is there anything you want to add to that, V?
It sounds perfect. Everything that you say, as always. I love how in tune we are. I'm sorry if I said it again. It's just incredible. But yes, talking about the retreat, the place is incredible. I think that just going there, it's healing. Like the moment you walk into that, the area, the nature, the everything is like so nourishing and deep. Also, we will be in a space like you were saying, Adriana, we're going to be in an old place instead of the tents because hopefully it's going to be really nice weather. But if it rains, we'll still have like plenty of spaces where we can spend some time, doing Reiki or chatting or eating and everything. So there is space for everything. And I had something else in my mind that is leaping off. But what if we give a discount to people that are listening?
Ooh, I'm here for that. I love Eir's community. I'm here for that.
Perfect. So we give a $200 discount to whoever contact us and say, we've heard you there. Please book maximum early October because we have already quite a few people. So there's not a lot of space left. And also because it's beginning of November, we need to let the place know who is coming, how many people are coming. Mm-hmm. We don't want to have more than 8 or 10 because, again, like we were saying, we want to give really a lot of personal attention. So it's not many spaces. That's the deal.
Yeah. Awesome. That sounds great. I will make sure to include the link in the show notes for everybody to take advantage of that $200 discount, which is amazing. And thank you for that. Is there anything else that you guys want to chat about real quick before we sign off?
I think the one thing that's coming to mind for me is with it being so difficult as especially a mom, but even as a woman in today's society, to take a break from whatever it is you're doing and invest in yourself. This is just like my gentle kick in the ass coach reminder that if you don't do anything different, nothing changes, right? So if you're feeling called to doing something like this, whether it's our work or finding something that feels different, better to you, whatever it is, I just want to encourage you to be that change that you are looking for. Be the one who makes the change Be the one to invest in yourself, because you never know who you're impacting as you're going along and figuring your own life out. It's really important that we all play our individual role here in the collective, because we're all massively impacting one another. So when you're not doing things that your heart really feels drawn to do, it's actually impacting everyone else, whether or not you want to see that. So I encourage you to follow your heart, trust your gut, whatever your authority is in human design, and do what you need to do. Anything you want to add to that, B?
No, I want to absolutely repeat everything that you just said. And also, we forgot, you cannot book directly on the website, because again, being a small retreat, we want to make sure that whoever is coming will get all the benefits out of the retreat. So book a call with us. It can be like a 10-15 minutes call. It can be a 30 minutes call. It can be with the both of us or only with one of us. That we want to make sure that the person is coming, that we will be able to give to this person what she's looking for, and that you feel supported from the very first moment that you decide to come.
Yes, that is important, because if it's not a good fit, you're not going to get what you want, and then it's, it can lead to other issues down the line. So it's good to know that you guys are screening to make sure that whoever's coming is going to get exactly what you're looking to give. So I appreciate your care. I appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for coming, and we will talk to you guys later.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Alchemy, Astrology, and Astro Health. I hope you enjoyed today's episode as much as I enjoyed making it. You can find all relevant links to today's show in the show notes below. If you loved the show today, please subscribe, follow, and leave me a review. I love to hear your thoughts, and it helps me know what is a hit and to make more of that content, especially for you. If you want to learn more about me and how I can help you, head over to atlaastrology.com. There you can sign up for a medical astrology package, download my free Sun Sign in Your Health ebook, read the blog, and so much more. If you want to connect more outside the podcast, follow my Instagram channel @AtlaAstrology, or join my Astro Connection community, the link to which you can find in the show notes. Until next time, love and light.